What's up, fam? I'm quite sure that everyone has heard about the mass shooting today up in Texas, here in Texas. And we're going to cut through all the mess and the bull. Whenever me as a black person, I hear someone say it's a mass shooting anywhere, I say it's a white person. And yes, it was a white person. But you have to keep asking yourself is why are all these crimes being committed now? And you really can't that much make it a race issue, because a lot of the white guys that are committing these mass shootings are shooting other white people. There may be some Hispanics in the crowd here or there, but for the most part, they're shooting themselves. And like I'm saying, is you have to keep asking yourself why. As a person that thinks a lot, there has to be some type of white supremacist website that a lot of these teenagers and people that are mentally challenged, they go on these sites and listen to the rhetoric, and there they go try to commit these crimes. When a terrorist goes in, there's not a team of terrorists. There's only one. These mass shooters, there's not a team of them. There's only one. But just to take out 5, 10 people, that's a win for them. And they're willing to take one for the team. So as I think about this, I say it's Operation Chaos and Terror. You have these white people, this one white lady in particular, they called the authorities on some lady that, on some people that were barbecuing. Then you have other white supremacists that go on these sites and say, well, they were breaking the law. That's picking. And what they're doing is they're creating chaos. Even if the cops were to come and take them to jail just to disrupt your day, is a win for them. So there's chaos and there's terror. And I've been telling people for the longest is that we're coming into a different era in time. And things are changing. And some people are uncomfortable with the change. So that's when they start displaying erratic behavior. And basically they start panicking. I'm just surprised why the authorities are not trying to find, is there some type of affiliation with some group or organization with these mass shooters? Where did they get the money for the guns? Where did they get the plans? Now this particular guy that shot these people today up in Texas, he had pipe bombs. So at first it was reported there was 8 people killed, but I think it says 10 now. And I don't have to tell you that he was taken alive. And which brings me to these other mass shooters. After they apprehend them, you hear nothing else about the case. The Aurora shooters, all the other guys, it's like you just hear nothing else about it. And I have been wondering, are these shooters under some type of hypnosis? Because usually when they take their mug shots, their eyes are bulging and they look like they're spaced out. It's like they're in some type of trance or... So I'm wondering, are these people being hypnotized on some type of drugs that make these people commit these mass murders? And why do they just in such a rush to close the case instead of taking their time to find out if these particular people had help? Which I know they had help, because I don't think that they are smart enough to carry out these attacks alone. So that's why I always say is that we're coming into some strange times here, people. Don't be surprised at what you see. Don't become afraid of what you may hear. You keep marching forward and keep pressing forward, and everything will be okay for you. But if you lose faith, you will fail. When I see that these white supremacists are committing these stupid acts, like calling the cops on black people, looking for some infraction, or these other kids that's going up and shooting fellow students and teachers and faculty members, they don't really realize the change that they are bringing in. You may have been able to go freely buy or purchase a firearm, but that is going to change. And who's going to be able to buy a firearm and who's not going to be able to buy a firearm? What people commits mass murders and what people don't commit mass murders. What constitutes a person of being mentally stable? I mean, could you take a written test to prove that out? That if I miss 1-2 questions, that means that I can't get a gun? We're coming into some strange times. And if you are not prepared, if you don't educate yourself, if you don't try to prepare and lay something aside for a rainy day, you're going to suffer. It's not going to be easy. These FEMA camps are real. And the way that these mass shootings and things are occurring, you don't know if it's a false flag. You don't know if it's some type of these crisis actors. We don't know exactly what's going on. All we can go on is what has been reported and put out. But one thing I do know is that this is leading to martial law. And I can see one day that the police officers, the Coast Guards, or whoever else it may be, going door to door, checking American citizens' homes for firearms. And when it happens, people have only themselves to blame. So, it's time for people to start holding others accountable for their actions. If it's a person that you know that is a loose cannon, it is up to you to get that person to seek some type of help. Why wait for him to kill someone or someone you know before you react and say, you know what, this guy been acting strange? It's time for people to start stepping forward. And also it's time for people to stop taking this high road attitude. For the person wrongs you, just go off and don't worry about it. No. The only way, now I'm talking about black people now, that we can stop this mess with these fake police calls, take them to court. Harassment, whatever it is, take them to court. Hit him in the pocket. Try to get him sent away for a little while. Then it'll stop, maybe. But doing nothing will change nothing. You can't work on a person's conscience that does not have a conscience. So, trying to plead and beg and ask and protest and vote, those things that we did in the past, they're not working. When I tell people about this, they say, oh man, the first thing that comes to their mind is talking about some type of physical fight. But it's a mental battle that we have to do as a people. And we have to depend on ourselves and quit depending on other people. I don't care who it is. Quit depending on other people to get us out of our present situation. Because it's a job that we have to do. It's just like seeing some people fighting. And one guy is getting beaten. And the guy is getting beaten is not trying to fight back. Well, usually people don't help them people like that because he's not even trying to help himself. So if we as a people don't try to help ourselves, how can we expect anyone else to step in and want to assist us when it comes ball down to it? They'll be doing all the fighting. We stand in the background looking. You're not going to ever get no help like that. We won't ever get help as a people with that type of attitude. We got to step forward and start helping ourselves. Then others will follow. So people, stay strong and watch out for Operation Chaos and Terror, and don't let it catch you up. Peace, family.